Thank you for coming through. So it's very important for us to understand how industry works and where you guys fit in, because I've been looking at some posts from from people on LinkedIn that I found to be a little bit concerning, right? So, and on Facebook as well, right? So I've been following some of the things that I'm seeing there. So one of the people posted that as young people, when we apply for jobs, why can't we be told immediately or the next day that we didn't get the job? When we go for interviews, why aren't we being told the next day that we did not get the job, right? Why is the feedback process taking long? And then number two, another one I saw is somebody said, I've been applying for jobs for the last 6 months and I'm not getting anything. All I'm getting is, we regret to inform you, letters, and I don't even make it to an interview. And then so that's on the application side of things. And then on the growth side of things, I had somebody who actually even sent me a message and said, I've done my MBA, I've done everything, I've never missed a day at work, but I'm still in the same position. Right, Joshuans, thank you for coming through. Right, but I'm still in the same position, and I don't seem to be progressing. And so that's important for us to understand why these things are happening and how these things work, so that you can learn to navigate them and learn to understand them. So we're going to start with an industry overview. So most of you guys, where you work, that's what we call industry. So the job that you have, or where you are applying for jobs, we call it industry, right? So whether you're applying at Absa, Standard Bank, Vodacom, Discovery, wherever you are applying, right? That's what we call industry. And what we mean by this is, somebody decided to start a company. Né? So let's make a simple example and say Tshepo starts a perfume manufacturing company, right? Let's bring it close to home so that you can understand how things then unfold to the point where they are looking for people within the organizations and why they're looking for those particular people, right? And then how those people will navigate within that particular organization. So Tshepo starts a perfume manufacturing business. He started alone. Fifi, thank you for coming through. We had a very great session with Fifi yesterday. It was amazing. Fifi, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I know I gave you a whole lot of homework, but Fifi came for her career strategy session yesterday. If you want to be like Fifi, go to careeremporium.co.za and book it. Leseho, thank you for coming through. We see you. Leseho, please, do you see there? I've got Dance Cafe Florida logo. We are in a formal partnership now with Dance Cafe Florida, right? So let's understand this. So when Tshepo started his perfume manufacturing company, he was alone, right? So he started this company alone, and it's in the cosmetics industry. Okay. So when he started this company, there are certain things that he needed to comply with before he could manufacture those perfumes. All right. So government requires him to have a safety measures within the company. Government requires him to register the business. They require him to have processes and systems and all of that in place, right? So he did all of that. He got his ISOs, he got his operational manual and all of that, right? So when he starts his company, he's manufacturing 10 perfumes a week. So that's something that he can handle, right? He's competing with your big brands, right? Your CK, DKNY and whatnot, right? Agile, thank you for coming through. We see you. Right? So that's what happens with Tshepo. So he manufactures 10 bottles a week. That is okay. Now, a year down the line, after Tshepo has done all of the marketing and whatnot, Tshepo gets a deal from 3 big retailers, right? So he gets a deal from Edgar's, he gets a deal from Clicks, and then he gets a deal from another big retailer. So basically what I'm saying by he gets a deal is, now he needs to supply his perfume. So he's no longer selling the perfumes in the boot of his car or from his home. Now his perfumes need to be in stores. So that means his production increases to 20,000 bottles a week. You understand? That is a big jump. Now he is part of the big people in the industry, and then he's now competing at that level where his perfumes are going to be at Edgar's or what they call it, Red Square or whatever the case is. So what Tshepo does now is, the first thing he does, he employs an HR manager, right? And the reason why he starts with an HR manager is because he knows he's going to need production staff, He's going to need packaging stuff. He's not going to need stuff that does quality assurance. He's got stuff that's going to be running the company, that's going to be running the marketing and all of that, right? And communication and all of that, right? Because now it's becoming a larger organization. So what he does is that he puts together a couple of positions and a couple of jobs within the company that are going to be key for him to be able to supply that 20 bottles, right? So a facilities manager, because now he's got a big factory and all of that. So now he's industrializing the business right now. So he puts out all of those jobs. Some of them include entry-level jobs, reception, packaging, and all of that. And then everybody's going to have a manager and a supervisor and whatnot. So that's how jobs are determined. So it starts with Tsepo and Tsepo's vision and Tsepo Pty Ltd. And then he's going to put together people that are going to work for that company in specific positions. So when you see companies, it's not like they constantly have jobs available 24/7. It's based on the need of that company. So for as long as Tsepo has filled out all of his positions for producing the 20 bottles, chances are the next time he's going to go through an employment drive is when he gets bigger deals now. So maybe he's only supplying the Edgars in Joburg, and then now the Edgars in Limpopo, the Edgars in Durban and whatever. Now they need him. So that means his production increases to 100 bottles. So he needs to be opening up new branches in different provinces. And then he goes with the same structure. So that is what happens. But on a daily basis, this company produces perfume. It's a perfume business. So when you're working for a bank, you are working for a banking business. So people are not in the business of employing people. They are in the business of growing their businesses, and they employ people to come through and grow their businesses, right? So that's one thing that we need to understand, first and foremost. So they determine the jobs, and then you do applications. Now, the reason why I'm stressing that the business is in the perfume manufacturing sector, right, is so that you understand that on a daily basis, the business is busy because it's production, it's packaging, it's checking, it's quality assurance, right? And then HR is dealing with internal HR issues, of everybody else who does not pitch for work, people that come in drunk and whatnot. It's like every day it's busy. So when you go for a job interview and you expect to get a response tomorrow in terms of, we regret to inform you, how is that possible? I need you to tell me how that is possible if a company still needs to deal with everything. They don't stop production because for that day they have to deal with your interviews and your applications. It does not work like that. The reason why it's going to take a week or so is because things need to be signed off, right? A person who did the interview, they need to go back. They need to do some kind of an adjudication. And that does not happen immediately after the interview, because immediately after the interview, everybody must go back to their desk or the factory, and then they must go and work. And then the calendars are clashing. One person is available, the other person is not available because they're dealing with a crisis at the factory. The HR is not available because they're dealing with certain issues and CCMA. The director is not available, and it's very important for the director to be there. Thank you so much, Yoli. Right? It's important for the director to be there as well for that meeting, but the director had to fly off to the Durban branch and then needs to spend 3 days from there. And in between, they are sending emails, but people don't attend to emails immediately because they have work to do. So it takes a little bit longer for them to respond. So there's a lot that happens inside the organization itself after you've gone for an interview or you've put in your job application. So there's no way you're going to get answered tomorrow. So that sense of entitlement, you need to kill it. It needs to go. It's not going to work. You need to let people go through the process. So the reason why you are not getting an immediate response when you put in your job application or after you've gone for an interview is not because companies then now sit and do nothing and they're like, we want to see if you can handle the pressure of not being responded to or not. People get busy. They're running a manufacturing company. They're running a bank, a bank. They're running an insurance company every day. I mean, you think about where you are right now at your job. If I sent you 100 CVs and I said, please have a look at them right now at this moment, if I'm to open up my email address and say to you and open my email, and then send you 100 CVs, I can even do that exercise for you because I do have 100 CVs. If I send them to you and I say to you, respond to me by 3:00 or tomorrow, is that fair? Because I found you doing something already. It's either you are busy with client queries or there's a meeting that you need to attend and whatnot. do I expect you to stop everything and look at my 100 CVs that I'm going to send through to you right now? So we need to exercise logic, right? We understand your frustration. We understand your fears. We understand your desperation. But that is not the company's problem. The fact that they advertise jobs and they put them out there, meet them halfway and understand they're a business that is running. Okay, so that's one thing that I need us to fully understand. It's the same thing with your applications. When you're sending an application, you are not the only one. And it's selfish thinking to say your CV must get the only attention. If there's a job post that goes out, please do yourself a favor. Go onto LinkedIn and check some of the jobs that have been posted, and look under that job. It will tell you that there are already 204 applicants. There are already 305 applicants. How do you expect that process to work faster? You understand? Because they're not getting to your CV, the entitlement of, I'm the special one, my CV must be looked at first. It doesn't work like that. 304 CVs, it's going to take a minimum a week for us as directors together with HR and everybody else to go through those CVs. Guys, it's 304 CVs. Some of them badly written. So be angry at your other friends that are sending things not in the correct format, and then they are wasting everybody else's time. Because the post was clear, send your CV in Word. You get people that are sending in PDF. So those people are wasting our time because we need to sift through all of those applications that are not in the right format, right? We ask people to send 3-page CVs. Now we get people that are sending 5-page CVs. So we need to start the process of elimination and look at through the badly written CVs and all of that. So be angry at your peers. Don't be angry at the company. It's people that are wasting the company's time. People applying for positions they know they don't qualify for. So we have to sift through that. HR has to sift through that. Do you think that's an easy process? That is not an easy process. We've determined the jobs. We've created the jobs based on where the company is going. We've put out the posts. So you can't say companies and industry are mean people, because they've actually gone through the process. And let me tell you something. The process of putting together a job post and a job description, guys, it's very difficult, even internally, right? Because I'm going to say, yes, we're a bottle manufacturing company. We need a quality assurance manager, right? But based on my thinking and what I've observed in the company. So this is one manager saying there's a supervisor. We need somebody who's a little bit matured, and then we need somebody who can handle people and whatnot. So I'm thinking somebody between the age of 35 and 40. Then you've got HR saying no, but guys, remember, we've been nailed by the Employment Equity, Department of Labor. So we cannot be getting somebody who's 35. We need to get somebody who's a black woman who's between this age and this age. You understand? So now there's this battle that's happening, and they have to take it to the director. But now they can't take it to the director to adjudicate and say, this is what we want the job to look like, and this is the profile that we're looking for. Because he's also out dealing with major things to make sure that the company is running, it's floating, that the people that are already employed, they don't get retrenched. So we have to wait for that guy to come back, and he's gone for 3 days, right? And then when he comes back, now we have to do the actual job description. This is what we expect for a person who's going to come through. We need to come up with qualities and attributes and all of that. So putting together a post already while we are short-staffed because we are growing fast as a company is a stressful process as it is. And then by the time we put it out there, everybody else applies, and then now we're getting 300 CVs. So you need to understand where you fit in. You can't look at things only from outside and saying, just because after you applied, you were sitting in your room the whole day doing nothing. You can't think that the people in the inside are also doing nothing. They are working to make sure that they bring in the best talent as well. You understand? They search on Google and look for skill and qualities of the position. You see, thank you. Go hectic, Guma Human Capital. There's a lot going on in that department. Guys, there's a lot going on in that department. As a director, I circulate through different departments. These people are not just sitting and not waiting. You understand? Umuntu is about to go to a CCMA case. We're already asking them, are you done with this post? Are you finished with this post? Has you put together everything else? The person has not finished because they've got another CCMA case, because your other brothers and sisters decided to come to work drunk, and then when they got dismissed, they went to the CCMA. So we need to deal with that nonsense as well. So you guys need to bear with the companies as well in terms of everything that they are trying to do to make sure that positions are created and then people can get into those positions. I want you guys to understand it from that perspective. We need that level of maturity to understand what's happening within companies as well. There's a lot of adjudication, there's a lot of signing off that needs to take place. Now, let me tell you what the next problem is. Now, the next problem is you get candidates that are not even showing the promise of being able to take the company forward, right? And guys, that's why I'm saying your job applications, they're all over the place. The way your job applications are written, the way your cover letters and everything is written, guys, it's a problem. It's a problem. Yes, Kumbu is right. There's a lot of consulting. Guys, there's a lot of consulting that happens. I can tell you, I sit in these meetings on a daily basis. And sometimes it takes us 2 months to employ someone. And people think it's because we forgot. No, everybody has their own job description. There's things that they've been doing already. You understand what I'm saying? So I need you guys to understand it from both sides and stop coming up with this aggressiveness towards corporate and saying corporate is not looking out for us and all of that, right? So another thing is your job applications are all over the place. So that's why we end up re-advertising. And guys, I'm going to give you some tips here for people that are job seekers or people that are planning to job seek. You need to take advantage of the communication. When they're saying to you, submit your CV, right? Obviously, the first thing is submit it in the right format. If they're wanting a Word document that is 2 pages, go get assistance with your CV so that it's compressed, it follows the process and whatnot. The other thing is it must be ATS friendly. And by ATS friendly is what I've been talking to you guys about when it comes to the industry language. So the keywords that have to do, because that's how we were forced to actually even implement ATS systems, where a machine will scroll through your CV and see if the keywords are coming through and then start rejecting the ones that are not in the right format, the right font, the right pages, the right PDF, the right one, and then it will automatically kick them out. So that at least the ones that are left, they still now need the human interaction where we are reading them one by one. We are reading through them one by one. So that format is also very important. Extremely important. So that's why I'm saying read your job applications correctly, right? That's number 1. Number 2, take advantage of your communication. When you submit a CV, guys, let me tell you something. If you are attaching your CV to an email and all you are writing is, hi, interested in this post, you are missing out on an opportunity to write an email that will sell you. You need to sell yourself. Because tell me something, do you think you're the only one who's submitting that CV? Or somehow you have the arrogance of you are the only one who fits in? No. You need to go through the process. It's like Comrades Marathon, right? What happens in the first 10Ks, what happens in the next 10Ks, what happens up to the point where somebody gets in first. Up to the point where somebody gets in first and wins the Comrades. That's how the CV process is. You get a bunch of them and somebody must run and somebody must win. Because sometimes we are not looking for 10 people. We are looking for 1. And even in cases where we're looking for 10 people, it's the same thing with Comrades. Who's going to be the first top 10 to walk in, through there? Then that's when your CV is not enough. And your right format on your CV, the right font, that is not enough. What's enough are the little things that you do in between. So what I was going to say is when you're attaching your CV and then you write an email that sells you, hi Shumi, thank you so much for the post that you've put out on LinkedIn. I'm very excited about it. I already carry the required experience. And then, coincidentally, this qualification that you've mentioned, I managed to obtain it last week. I'd love to get considered for this position. Looking forward to it. So now things like that, they matter. When we break it down to the things like that matter, how a person communicated, how a person sold themselves, right? An email that I will always remember. You understand? So that gives me high hopes that, this person is going to come here for an interview. They're going to shine. This is the kind of person that we would like in our company, right? Coach, is this going to be on YouTube? Would love to share with my community. Yes, it will be on YouTube. If the network is willing. Yesterday's one, I can't put it on YouTube because the network went flat and then we got cut. But so far, so good today. It's looking good, right? So yes, Pastor, it will be there. You understand, guys? So that is an opportunity for you to sell yourself. And once you've sold yourself, that's an email to remember, right? That's the email that I look forward to. Everybody else who writes like they are in the SMS language, right? When we're too busy, I mean, we even wonder. Your job requires you to write reports, but your email says, "Hi, am interested." Not "I am interested." "Hi, am interested. Sending my CV." Guys, do you really expect not to get a regret letter? When 25 of the emails and we're doing our short listing, people sold themselves, people spoke, people communicated. And when I'm interested, attach my CV. You think your CV is the savior. That is not going to help you at all. So write the kinds of emails that are selling you. Thank you, Shumi, for the cap. Write the emails that are selling you, guys. Write it fully so that people can look forward to hosting you. Right? Because industry and company are looking for people that are going to take the company forward. We're not looking for CVs. We're looking for people. Your CV is just a document that gives us a brief of who you are. So people say once you've sent a CV, you should get a job. A CV is one document of what people are looking for. People think the CV is everything that people are looking for. As long as I've got my format correct and everything, I don't have to make even more effort in my emails and my communication and whatnot. And that's why when they go for an interview, somebody said, these companies are asking us for cover letters. My CV should suffice. I mean, it's there, right? It's in the right. I mean, my CV should be enough. What kind of attitude is that? If 100 people are sending all of their CVs, how should we pick yours? Should we pick yours because you strongly feel like your CV is correct? Your CV is not amazing. Your CV looks like 20 other people. It's as simple as that. It just opens up the door for you to get inside. And I think that's what people don't understand what a CV is. A CV is a summary of your professional life. We still need to talk afterwards. So you still need to sit in an interview afterwards. We still need to test because now we are sitting with people that have the same profile, the same CV. Some of your CVs are reviewed by the same people, so they look the same. So there's nothing special, right? This was for us to see who are people that are taking themselves seriously, people who are completing the applications right, who knows how to follow instructions. We asked for the 3-page CV. Who's going to send the 3-page CV in the right format? You guys immediately, 3-page CV, crash certificate, grade R photos, metric dance photos, metric certificate, all of that. Who said you must send all of that? Who said that? You don't know how to follow instructions. You don't know how to follow instructions. We get an email that has 1,000 attachments. You want to create a lot of work for us? Your application process is already wrong. It's already wrong. You understand what I'm saying? Kopozo, I'm telling you, BK, I'm telling you guys, I see this on a daily basis. You understand? Who said you must send that? Why don't you focus on your job applications and put them out correctly? So that you can protect yourself, you can put yourself in a good position to win this race. You are in a race now. So that's how industry works, right? There's a lot that's happening. There's a reason why we're asking for things in a specific format. So you can't tell me that my CV should suffice. I should not be putting a cover letter. I mean, whatever you're looking for is in there. We still need to test if you're going to fit into the company. We still need to test if you're going to grow into the company, if you're going to contribute some things, right? That's why I always give you guys tips in terms of what you do in interviews and all of these extra things that you need to do in interviews. Thank you, BK. Right? Coach, then let's talk about how to make them right, more so for those in the area, in the HR space, right? So you're talking about making what your job applications right, or Tuso, let me know what you're talking about. Are you talking about how we can make our job applications right? Or what are you talking about? Let me know. Just give me, a little bit more context there. I'm happy to speak about that. So guys, we've had these conversations before. So that's the first 30 minutes I'm talking about the applications part. So that people that are outside and are applying. And then tomorrow I'm going to be on Daily Theta on SABC 1 at between 10:30 and 11:30 in the morning. This is what I'm going to be speaking about to young people. Like get your job. Let's start with the basics. Get your job applications right. Follow instructions to the T. And then go there and then go nail your interview. Come out as the best candidate, right? Come out as the best candidate in that job interview. I've given you guys all the interview tips. You can book your interview strategy. Yes, you can book your LinkedIn strategy as well. keremporam.co.za. Let's prepare you for your interviews and let's make sure that you are nailing your interviews. What are those pointers that we should be looking for when we receive those CVs, e.g. when reading? Okay, Tuso, 100% I get you, right? I 100% get you. So when you submit your CV, so there's one thing that we need to understand. The CV helps us to understand the minimum requirements. So let's start with the formatting, right? Or the cover page, right? So let's start with the formatting of it. One thing that we are looking for as HR, right? As an HR practitioner, people don't take time on CVs, grammar, format, information, language. Thank you so much. I was going to get into that millipede, right? So the first thing that we want to look for, guys, you must remember, when we create these positions as directors and we're working in conjunction with HR, right? We already have a picture of an employee in our head. So our employee is somebody who knows how to communicate. It's somebody who pays attention to detail. It's somebody who knows how to write because they're going to need to communicate with people within the organization, right? It's a person who understands what the position is that they're applying for, right? It's people that understand the business as well and people that understand what their contribution is going to be. That's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for. So there's different ways of reflecting that in your cover letter. Right? So industry language. How many times have I told you guys about industry language? Go check the previous masterclasses on YouTube. Just look for Career Emporium on YouTube and then you can listen to those, right? And people that have come for one-on-one sessions with me. Yesterday we did the Refilwes session and we were speaking about the banking language. Right? So the way you write things, the way you express your industry language to show that you are connected with the sector, right? Your attention to detail because you're going to be writing reports probably. So grammar and spelling. Why would I take you when you are in a position that's going to require you to communicate with my external clients? I already don't trust your grammar. Right? I already don't trust your punctuation. Instead of putting full stops, it's like just commas and exclamation marks everywhere. Right? Some people don't even know how to start a sentence with a capital letter. I know people that have been helping with their LinkedIn profiles that have their name and surname, and the first letter of the name is not a capital letter, and the first letter of the surname is not even a capital letter. So it's those small things, because in our head we have this matured person who's coming in, who knows how to write, who understands the basics of what they were taught in high school, basically. So those are the things that we are looking for. We are looking for a teaser, if I can put it like this. You are teasing us a little bit so that we can say, this is a person that's worth having a conversation with. Some cover letters, you are not even worth the conversation. You are not worth the because you've written everything that everybody else has written, right? I'm fantastic. I work well under pressure. I've got these qualifications and da. It's like you ended at qualifications. That's why, guys, when I tell you how to write your about section on LinkedIn, I always say the first paragraph, and you can use this format on the cover letter. The first paragraph is you, your qualifications, and your profession. The second paragraph is why you love the sector that you are in, or why you love the profession that you're in. Your third paragraph is your time to flex and talk about your moment of glories, some of the successes you had within your company. You understand? And then the fourth one is where you talk about where you are planning to go, so that we understand how to grow you as well. Right? You are planning to grow into an executive position and contribute in this and and policy and stuff like that. That's how you write it. If you put it like that, you are worth a conversation. But if you're depending solely on your qualifications, don't you think everybody else who's applied for that position has the same qualifications as you? Otherwise, they wouldn't have applied. Don't you think they also have the same experience as you? That's why the cover letter is a differentiator. And people are like, yeah, it's a lot of work. No, it's your differentiator, because what you have on your cover letter, when I'm talking about what you love about your sector, when I talk about your moment of glory in terms of the projects that you've done in the past, chances of your cover letter looking the same as somebody else's in that front, those chances are low, because it was different eras, it was different companies, it was different approach, it was different everything. It's very rare. I've looked at a lot of cover letters that were written properly, where people are talking about this is what I've achieved in my life and in my career. It's rare that the stories would sound the same, because that is your own unique story. And that own unique story is your interview content, because that's what we're going to touch on. Because all of you guys are going to answer the questions the same way, right? How do you handle pressure? Your answers sound the same because you all used Google. How do you handle pressure? How do you handle conflict? But there's going to be that unique story of, tell us about some of the achievements and some of the projects that you worked on. It's very rare that will sound the same. So a person who's not prepared for an interview does not have that moment of glory story to tell. They don't have that. So they will just stick to the boring story of answering interview questions. And that's what I call boring interviews, and then you are out. How to nail your interview, guys, go check it out. It's all on YouTube in the masterclasses that we've done in the past on careeremporium.co.za. It's all there. Otherwise, book your interview session on careeremporium.co.za. People that have come through, I've told them many times, guys, use storytelling. Use storytelling in your interviews to make it more exciting, to make it more interesting. So guys, that's on the job application side of things, right? That's on the job application side of things. You're creating a lot of work for us. Give me a cover image that makes me want to meet you. Your CV will never make me want to meet you. You understand what I'm saying? Your CV will make me say, okay, you fit in as far as your profile is concerned. You fit in. Because I can see your experience. It is 5 years that I'm looking for. I can see your BCom, you've done it at the University of Pretoria. But all of your CVs look the same. It does not make me want to meet you. Your cover letter makes me want to meet you. You understand? So guys, that's on the application side. Now I'm going to talk about what happens when you are inside the organization. For people, because some of my people here, they're already in industry and they want to grow and get promotions. Okay, let's see what's happening. Professionals say first paragraph has to be a killer because that's what will motivate them to go further reading your profile. Exactly. For me, when Colicious, if the first paragraph can just close it off for me, that you fit the profile in terms of, I hold a BCom degree in economics, and that's what the post is looking for, right? And I have 7 years experience in a call center environment. If you open it with those two, I'm going to read further because at least now I have an idea of what's happening. I remember there's this lady yesterday I was watching Date My Family with my wife. You guys, I'm sure some of you guys know this show, Date My Family. So when I'm unwinding and I'm tired of listening to the serious things, I would just watch something like Date My Family. And this lady was saying, my strategy is when I go into the house, because she must visit 3 families. She said the first thing that I ask is the age of the person, because they never meet the person that they're planning to date. They meet the family. But she said my strategy is to ask about the age, right? So that after we've closed the age as a prerequisite, I can ask about other things as well. So the cover image, it works like that as well. Close off that you have the experience and the qualification that I want. Let's start there. And once I know that, then at least it's worth reading, because now you can open it up with a with a power paragraph and whatnot, right? But I'm not getting a sense that you have the right qualifications and whatnot, So just close that in the loop very quickly. I know it's in your CV, but I'm going to look at your cover letter before the CV. So close it for me very quickly and say I'm the right person. And then from there on, start with the bangers. Talk about, I love my sector because in the last 5 years, we've made an impact. And as a sector, we've employed 6,000 people. And I'm happy to be contributing to something to that effect. You understand what I'm saying? It's like then I can see there's maturity in this person, even the way they speak about the sector. Then speak about the fantastic projects that you worked on and you were recognized by the CEO and whatnot, Then talk about that. To me is lovely. Is lovely. That's what we're looking for. So you can't just do qualification like you're a robot. Qualification, work well under pressure. Qualification, but what's the famous one? Self-starter. Something like that. Self-starter, independent worker. You think you're the only one who wrote that? Chelsea, come on now. Huh? Okay, so guys, that's what's happening on the application stage. I will spend more time on it if you guys want me to in future. But I want to talk about my people that are inside industry and they're trying to grow within industry. So now Tshepo has manufactured this, has created this company, and this company is planning to grow. So if you want to grow within industry, now Tshepo is looking for something different. Right? So what Tshepo is looking for in order to grow this perfume company that is now a multi-million rand company, Tshepo is looking for people that are going to increase revenue for the company and save costs for the company. Guys, that's where your mind should be. If you are planning to get a promotion, you need to think like 20% of your thinking needs to be like an accountant. Okay, you're trying to increase revenue, you're trying to reduce costs. That's what you're trying to do for the company. And how do you do that too? This is how you get a promotion, guys, right? So if you are, let's talk about reducing costs. If you can walk around because you are a supervisor or manager now and say to Tsepo, you know, Nem, if we remove Julia and put Julia there, right? And then bring Jabu, and Jabu must take care of this machine because Jabu works much more faster, and then Jabu sort of like cuts the process. We can actually produce 20 extra bottles a week just by changing that. Now, 20 bottles a week means 20 more bottles are sold within the company. Jabu is going to take you up. You quickly going to move because you are a strategic thinker. You quickly going to move to an executive position because Jabu is looking for people that think like that. Because if you can say to me, if we cut a process or if we change a specific process or if we shift a specific process around, or if we come up with a training intervention that will teach Maria to work much more faster and all of that, and that means that makes us produce more. That's what companies are looking for once you are inside. That's how you grow, right? It's not, I've been here for 10 years, you must promote me. No, they're looking for people that are going to look and say, no, but the way we are packaging our factory, the bottles are too far from the door. So that slows down delivery time by 5 minutes. If we improve delivery time by 5 minutes, I'm telling you, we're going to be able to deliver twice in a day instead of the ones that we're doing per day. And then they sort of like shift things in the warehouse. That's what a strategic thinker is. You're thinking about reducing costs, right? Or you know how to engage your stakeholders and your suppliers. And you know how to sit down with the supplier and say, listen here, okay, we've been buying things from you in bulk and whatnot. We are planning to actually buy a little bit more, right? But if we can get a 20% discount, I mean, that would be fantastic. Or we will move to Lerato because Lerato's company also supplies the material. You understand what I'm saying? If you are that kind of person who does not say, because I'm a manager in the company, I must just focus on my job description. No, they need somebody who's going to also say, as much as this is my job description, there are things that I'm seeing that can improve as far as processes are concerned here. So this will be my contribution to make sure that we're cutting a little bit of costs. Or when somebody resigns, you go to HR and say, HR, instead of us replacing this person, okay, let's not get a new person. I feel like if we take Jabu and then we add a little bit of a scope of the person that is left, and instead of paying a new person 70,000, we just give Jabu a 50,000 increase. That means we're saving 20,000 a month. And then we can change Tabo's position to, you understand what I'm saying, guys? That's how you grow within a company, because that's what industry expects. You're expecting this directors want their companies to grow within industry. So when you come up with ideas like that, and we hear them once in a while, now we want to hear them every day. What is the best way for us to hear them every day is to bring you as a director so that you are on Exco with us on a weekly basis. So that's how a job promotion occurs. You are cutting us costs by changing processes, by looking at processes. Go check the article that I've actually written on www.careerprogram.co.za, and then just please go check it out at an article about how to get a job promotion fast on careerprogram.co.za. It's exactly what I'm speaking about looking at processes and changing something in order to cut the company costs. You understand what I'm saying? That's what you need to do. Can we copy and paste attributes and skills as stated on the advert? Dolicious, you can, right? It's okay. You can copy the attributes and paste them there. But just know that everybody else is going to do that. You still need that unique selling point. Everybody else is going to do that, because I'm sure when you're saying, can we copy attributes and skills stated on the advert? On the 65 people that are on this live, I'm sure some of them have read your comment and was like, I've done it before. I've done it before. I've done it before. I've done it before. You see, so you still need a unique selling point. It's not enough. There's going to be 50 of you guys that have done that same thing. You want to be the number one. You understand, the number one. So you can mention your influence of new strategy that you've put in place to improve production. That's it. That's what I'm talking about. PG, that's exactly what I'm talking about. That becomes your selling point when it's time for you to get a promotion or an increase. Because you can come back and say, guys, listen, look at how well we're performing. It's a strategy that was put together by me. And I was not asked to put it. It was not part of my job description. It's something that I've done. And then it's also, I was about to say, PG, it's also your interview and your job application content, because that's what you put in the cover letter when I PG, and that's what you mentioned during your interview as well. It's your unique story. It's a unique selling point. So guys, the copying and pasting, everybody else is doing it. So that's why you're clever, guys. You're clever, and then just apply your mind when it comes to your applications. Don't look for shortcuts. Apply your minds when it comes to your job applications and do them right. So guys, that's how the job promotion works. The second one, guys, is you must cut costs. That's how companies work, and that's how positions are opened up, right? You must cut costs. I just spoke about that now in terms of processes. Also, you must increase revenue. What have I told you guys? Didn't I say you guys must learn networking skills? So if you one day say, you know what, you come to the company and then you're like, my job is not marketing, my job is not business development, my job is not sales. But I went to this conference, or I was at this webinar, and then the government was talking about certain incentives for companies that are in the perfume manufacturing business. And because I was just sitting in this webinar, because I was attending this conference, I managed to get this guy's business card. And then I think through their incentives, we can get additional exposure that can make us more money as a business. So you are doing, it's not your job's cut less, so it's not even marketing. You are HR, let's put it like that, or you are quality assurance manager, let's put it like that. But you come up with something like that and say, this is a great stakeholder. You pass on that business card to the top dog of the company. The top dog of the company takes you to those meetings, or you facilitate them. 2-3 things happen. The next thing you know, they have been incentivized to open up a new branch in East London, and the company is making 1.5 million rand more. That's how you move up immediately. For me, that one, immediately, I will put you on a 6-month program to help you understand directorship and fiduciary duties of the directorship. I will take you to the Institute of Directors, and I will prepare you that in 6 months, you should come and join us as a director, because clearly your thinking is at that level. We are Pumago Quality Assurance. You are coming straight with us to directorship positions. That's what happens when you are inside. So do you understand you need to be a special kind of person in both your job applications and your job promotion strategy? That's why I'm telling you guys, if you're going to take this journey that we are taking of preparing ourselves to become executives, you need to first say 90% of my thinking is wrong. That's one thing. That's the first thing you need to admit to. 90% of my thinking is wrong and has been wrong. And get away from people that are hyping you up. Scheme vele basijwayela kabi. Basijwayela kabi labantu laba enhle kuyavele scheme, because you're going to sit with that thinking. Hey chomi, hape ba re tlwaela hamba ba re file mmereko mo wa itse chomi batho ba khantike ke batho ba bang batho. Get away from those people, because you hype each other up with this 90% of wrong thinking, and you don't want to admit it. Exactly, it's 99.9. I'm being friendly. Get away from those people, because they will hype you up and you guys will get angry together. And that's when I start seeing these disappointing Facebook and LinkedIn messages. And I'm like, I'm so sad, because even on the comments, when somebody posts for, yeah, they don't give us job. Look at the comments. It's like, Bamo hyper up lebon. Tell them when I show. Tell them. And you can see it's just a group of people that I'm concerned about. What's going to happen with these people? It's like, they're not going to move anyway. They're just hyping each other up with the wrong things. You get it? So that's the first thing that I want you to do. I want you to get away from people that have that mindset. And then number 2, I want you guys to understand that once you take this route, your life has to change completely. It has to be different. Guys, your habits have to change, right? The content that you consume has to change. The things that you read has to change. And that's why I force you guys to network with each other and rather say, let me find a new friend here that I can talk about in a positive way and say, hey, listen here, my 90% of my thinking has been wrong. I think this is where the problem, because people in the Fetch Army, they will understand you, because I do this with them every day. They've already shifted their thinking, so you won't sound like you are crazy. The ones that you are currently with, the moment, or hey, Mara guys, we need to take ourselves seriously. It's not the company link problem. They're gonna chew you. You understand? So get people in the Fetch Army. right? And guys, if you're not following me, please make sure that you follow me so that you can know whenever I go live. I've got some fantastic content that's coming up, right? So I'm going to be summarizing some of the things that we do here, because the masterclasses are quite long and I put them like as they are on YouTube. So you're going to be listening for an hour. So I want to start taking pieces of them and summarizing them. So I'm going to be doing some short videos as well. But please stay on the YouTube ones. It's nicer to listen in the background as you are cooking, cleaning, driving, or whatever the case is. They're like podcasts. You don't need to watch them. That's why you're not watching me even now, right? So guys, you have to change your life, basically. Thank you so much, Miss V. You have to change your life, basically. You have to change your whole entire life. Your mindset, your circles, your thinking. It's like there's a lot that needs to change. If you are planning to hold on to the life that you have now, where you are constantly being misdirected, I'm telling you, nothing is going to change. Nothing is going to change. Everything is going to stay the same. I became a director at age 35. And let me tell you something. During those last years, my life had changed. Guys, I did not have a lot of friends then. Because there was just no time for it. Because I noticed that, damn it, this is a full-time commitment, man. To get myself to an executive position, this is a full-time commitment, bruh. To get into different boards at that age, I was like, something needs to give. Something needs to change. It can't be business as usual. It literally can't be business as usual. My friends reduced significantly. My time, I was spending it watching different kinds of content. I was watching inspiring people. I was reading inspiring stories. I had made my own diary, and so a dictionary of how directors speak. You understand? I had just put how directors speak. I had just written. I was like, something needs to give here. And then all of the people that I used to hang around with, I was like, this crew is not gonna work for me. I used to just squeeze myself into the Tafulatsabo executives, I was like, and then moment when, they reject you a little bit, but you come back. But I was like, life has to be different in order for me to achieve these things. It can't be normal. I can't be satisfied with the fact that I have a car, I have an apartment. Because guys, when I made these decisions, I wasn't broke. And that's what people think when I speak to them. They're like, yeah, hey, go to Nachail, and then he decided to change his life. No, I did not need to change anything when I made decisions to change things, because I realized there's more to life. So I would have been fine. I had a car, I had a nice salary, I had an apartment, you understand what I'm saying? But I said, there's more to life than this, man. There are things that I need to fetch in life to feel fulfilled. And I became an executive at 35, and I'm going to be an executive forever. And that is fulfilling. Because now I can sit, I can chat, I can share with people, right? So guys, think differently. Think about the company and the industry. That's why I always say watch business podcasts, even though you are not planning to be an entrepreneur, so that you understand how business works. And some things will click in your head. It will make sense for you. In terms of people who started businesses, how they think, what they are trying to achieve, and where you fit into all of that. Go listen to podcasts about business. You get what I'm saying? And yes, as Hopoto clearly stated, tomorrow I will be on Daily Theta SABC 1 if you are working from home, 10:30 to 11:30. I will be speaking to some young people about, their job applications and getting them right and really pushing them in the right direction. Everything we do here, guys, it's not motivation, okay? It's practical steps. So go check out the YouTube channel, Career Emporium. It's written there on top. And then look for the YouTube channel. Subscribe while you're there. Catch up on the old masterclasses. You will see what we talk about there, right? I'm an HR officer for 3 years plus for a company. I've worked for 18 years and I'm inspired today too. So I'm so happy you said that. Wow. I'm so glad I made that impact, Tuso. Tuso is going to be an HR director. Tuso, that's where we're going, right? That is what we're shooting for. So what happens when I want to ask you questions on a random day, coach? You have to book a session. My dear. So go to careeremporium.co.za and then you're going to have to book your session so that we can start chatting. Because what happens is that a lot of people that have the first session with me, they actually can get in touch with me via WhatsApp to ask questions, to say, hey, I've changed my headline on LinkedIn, and then I can look at it. As long as it's not a lot of work and it's not a full session, but you have like 1 or 2 questions. Once I have you on the system, I'm open. My clients will tell you, so maybe just go and book your first session. Let's be acquainted. Let me understand what it is, because it's difficult for me to respond to people via WhatsApp or TikTok inboxes when I actually don't thank you. I'm currently on your YouTube page now. Okay, perfect. Please catch up on the previous masterclasses. But if you want to book a session, go to careeremporium.co.za. So guys, that is it. That's what I wanted to bring to you guys. I'm glad some people are inspired. I'm glad you guys stayed with us. Welcome to the Fetch Army. Make sure that you follow so that you can become part of the army. Go join the WhatsApp group. I do share some resources there every here and there. Batobile, Okti, Nanali, Shumi, my moderators, I still want to talk to you guys about our strategy for the WhatsApp group. I feel like I'm starting to lack time to actually focus on the WhatsApp group and what we can post for people, to keep engaged. I think I'm very busy on LinkedIn. So guys, go check out the page on LinkedIn, a group on LinkedIn called Career Emporium Job Alerts. I post a whole lot of jobs there. So that is keeping me very busy, because I'm constantly posting jobs, constantly pushing. So moderators will just do a small meeting and see what we can do on WhatsApp. I know Batobile said we should consider sharing industry news. I really loved that idea. I've been sharing some webinars because I want you guys to attend webinars to improve your communication. So webinars, industry news, we'll just think about 3-4 more people, and then I have all of your guys' numbers. So I will just do a small meeting and see what we can do with the WhatsApp group. But go join the WhatsApp group anyway, So guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. And guys, remember, this masterclass is brought to you by Dance Cafe Florida. They've agreed to become our career networking sponsorship venue. I'm going to be setting up the first one. I'm just waiting for it to be a little bit hot. It's too cold right now. Florida, if you don't know, it's in the Rodeport side. They've got mics for us. They've got chairs for us. You can turn it literally into a beautiful conferencing venue. So that's where we're going to do our career speed networking and speed dating. I'll let you know as soon as, we've got our first event set up. I wanted to do one in July. I don't think so. I don't know about you guys, but me, I work from home. I hate leaving my house. So I'd rather wait until August, but I'm not taking chances in July, Thank you for such informative information and for an inspiration. Rip. No problem at all. Really appreciate you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Toli. I really appreciate you too. Hi, I'm new. How do I join the WhatsApp group, please? Tando Zwit there. Please go to careeremporium.co.za. And then you'll find the link to join the WhatsApp group there. And please follow my moderators, right? So Batobile is here. Okti is here as well there. She just responded with the website. Kopoto is here. She just said welcome. Batobile is there. She just put a website. So these are my moderators. Guys, if you want to see who's a moderator, you see next to their names, there's a funny looking human being looking thing there. Those are the moderators. So you can just please follow them as well. And then they can assist you with any queries that you might have. And to my moderators, I really appreciate you guys. I am gonna buy you presents at the end of the year, right, for all the work that you do, because you guys work for free, and I really appreciate you guys like big time, So guys, how we close the live. Make sure that you follow. Somebody needs to start the train for us. No problem, Noah, no problem. So somebody needs to start the train for us. There you go. Hashtag Fetch Army. Shario has started the train. Guys, everybody follow the train and put hashtag Fetch Army in the comments while I give you guys all of the shout outs. And make sure that you use this time to follow. So keep the train going. Batobile, thank you so much, Lieutenant. I really appreciate you. You've been there from the start. I really appreciate you so much, and thank you for the gifts. Yoli, thank you for the gifts, and thank you for coming through. I see you. Nana Lee, moderator and a friend of mine, thank you for coming through, my friend. I really appreciate you. Miss V, thank you for the gifts. I really appreciate you, and thank you for coming through. Be Wise, thank you so much for coming through. I really appreciate your loyalty. Jack Knife Maps, welcome to the Fetch Army. You've been here a couple of times. I really appreciate you. PG, thank you so much for always even being impressive, with your engagements. PG, I really appreciate that. Joshua Babe, thank you so much for coming through. I'm hoping we're going to do another session with you. I know I left you with a whole lot of homework after your own, your previous session. Rakari Lesejo, Skim Saga, thank you for coming through. We've got Joey backing us now, Lesejo, so this is fantastic. And then Lesejo, I'm not sure if you're going to Joey's birthday this weekend. You and I will talk anyway. Chario, thank you for coming through. Really appreciate you. Kinosi, thank you for coming through. Tuto Tsamu Dimu, thank you for coming through. Really appreciate you and engaging. Zanele Mdluli, thank you for coming through. Pastor Fortune, thank you for coming through, Pastor. Really appreciate it. I will have this on YouTube for you very soon, Pastor. Batate, thank you for coming through. Lisa, I see you. Kim K, I see you. Miri Paid, thank you for coming through. Jabulila, I see you. Kahiso, thank you for for coming through. Lebza, I see you. Colicious, thank you for engaging. Really appreciate you. Reduce that copy and paste. Maria, thank you for coming through. Tlatzi, I see you. Moz, I see you. Rip Fumelo, I see you. We'll just call you Rip. Stembi, so thank you for coming through. Jemima, I see you. Mahlatsi, I see you. Calvin, thank you for coming through. Calvin, let me know how things went on your side. Ne? Makunene, thank you for coming through. Tato, thank you for coming through. 768, I see you. Angie, thank you for coming through. Priestley, I see you. Tati, I see you. Tulani, I see you. Edward, my boy, thank you for coming through. Blessed Bongi, I see you. ZA Belinda, thank you for the gifts and thank you for coming through. Tando Zwide, I see you. Few AZ, I see you. Membri Recruiter, I see you. Nati, thank you for coming through. Refilwe, thank you for coming through. Israel Luane, I see you. Lese, I see you. Decious Noah, I see you. Unusual Suspect, I see you. And Busisi We, thank you for coming through. Guys, I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming through. We will meet not tomorrow, but we will meet on Thursday. Tomorrow, guys, don't forget, if you're working from home, SABC 1, Theta Junction, 10:30 to 11:30. I will be there, so please do tune in. I will be representing the rest of the Fetch Army. If you want to know who the Fetch Army is, it's us. We're a group of people that are fetching career choices. We are fetching executive positions, and we are an army. We don't feel sorry for ourselves. We're going to kick those doors tactically and strategically, and we're going to go in. I really appreciate you guys, and remember, wherever you go, tell everybody, everyone, just tell them that you guys are the Fetch Army. Love you guys. Mwah. Sharp, sharp. I shall see you on Thursday.